At 94 years old, Rose Martinez climbs 2 flights of stairs every day, without even touching the railing. She drives herself to volunteer at the local library, 3 times a week. Now get this, her doctor, who's 44 years younger than her, has higher blood pressure than she does. But here's the part that'll really stop you in your tracks. Just 9 years ago, Rose was using a walker. She was taking 12 different medications, and she couldn't even open a jar of pickles on her own. So how did she go from frail to phenomenal? It wasn't pricey supplements. It wasn't hours in a gym. And it definitely wasn't some fancy treatment. It was 5 simple morning habits. Habits that most people have never heard of, especially people over 60. These aren't your average, drink more water, or get more sleep, tips. These are ancient practices Rose discovered while researching centenarians, people who live to 100 and beyond. And the results? Her transformation shocked her friends, her doctor, even her own kids. Let's rewind. Rose spent 35 years shaping young minds as a schoolteacher. She had a beautiful, steady life with her husband, Carlos. But when Carlos passed away at 82, Rose's world fell apart. She stopped cooking, gained 35 pounds, was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and arthritis made every movement painful. By the time she was 85, she felt like a burden to her children. She was relying on a walker and taking 12 medications just to get through the day. Then came the breaking point. She couldn't open a jar of pasta sauce, and had to call her neighbor to help. That night, humiliated and hopeless, she made a decision. She was done living like this. She started researching how people in their 90s and even 100s around the world stay healthy, active, and independent. And what she found changed everything. In less than a year, her A1C dropped from 8.2 to 5.9. She lost those 35 pounds. She got off 8 of her 12 medications. And she threw away her walker. Now, before we jump into the habits, let me ask you this. What's your biggest health challenge after 60? Drop it in the comments, we read every one. You never know who you might inspire or help. Because these 5 morning habits saved Rose's life. And they just might save yours too. And hey, if you're still watching around this point, you're already different from most folks. So if you're enjoying this, tap that like button, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one, and hit the bell so you never miss a new upload. Make sure to watch until the very end, because each habit builds on the next, and together, they're powerful. Also, share this video with someone you care about. A friend, your parents, or even your doctor. You never know whose life it could change. Alright, let's get into the habits. Morning habit number 1, the sunrise ritual. Rose's first habit sounds almost too simple to be effective, but the science behind it is powerful. Every morning at exactly 6 a.m., she sits by her east-facing kitchen window for 15 minutes. No sunglasses. No prescription glasses. Just her eyes, soaking in the natural morning light, while sipping 16 ounces of room-temperature water. What does that do? It triggers your suprachiasmatic nucleus, your body's master clock, to release cortisol at the right time and suppress melatonin. In plain English, it resets your internal clock. That's especially important for folks over 60, because your circadian rhythm, the thing that regulates your sleep and energy, starts to weaken with age. Before doing this, Rose used to wake up 4 to 5 times a night. She felt groggy in the morning. Needed multiple naps just to get through the day. She was taking Ambien to sleep, and drinking 4 cups of coffee just to stay awake. But after 6 weeks of this morning light ritual, she was sleeping 7 hours straight and waking up naturally, with real energy. Her doctor was so surprised, he took her off sleep medication entirely. Here's the important part though. The light must hit your eyes directly, not through sunglasses, not through glass, and not from across the room. It has to be within the first hour of waking up. Don't have an east-facing window? No problem. Go outside for 10 minutes. Even on cloudy days, natural light is powerful. Mobility a concern? Sit near any bright light source. You can even invest in a 10,000 lux light therapy lamp. They're used in sleep clinics, and they work. This little ritual doesn't just help with sleep, it affects mood, digestion, and even blood sugar. But what comes next was even more surprising. Morning habit number 2, the gratitude plus memory exercise. After her light ritual, Rose grabs a notebook. She writes down 3 things she's grateful for. But she adds a twist. For each one, she recalls a specific sensory memory. Not just, I'm grateful for my family. Instead, she writes, I'm grateful for the sound of my grandson Miguel's laughter when he discovered the hidden compartment in my old jewelry box. I can still hear how it echoed in the hallway and see his eyes light up. That's not just feel-good fluff. That's neuroscience in action. Dr. Rick Hanson's research shows that recalling positive memories in sensory detail literally rewires your brain to notice more joy in daily life. This is especially helpful for older adults facing depression, loneliness, or early memory issues. Rose said she started this habit when she felt completely invisible. Like her life no longer mattered. At first, she says, some mornings I could barely think of even one thing to be grateful for. But after a few weeks, her brain automatically started noticing little joys throughout the day. The mailman's friendly wave. The perfect temperature of her tea. A bright red cardinal at the bird feeder. And here's something fascinating, her memory improved, not just for old stories, but for new things, too. She began remembering names, appointments, even where she put her keys. If writing is hard on your hands or eyes, say your gratitudes out loud. Or use a voice-to-text app on your phone. The key is detail. Texture, smell, sound, light, anything that brings that memory to life. Got a memory that still makes you smile? Share it in the comments below. You'll be surprised what just one moment of gratitude can do for your brain. But wait until you hear what she does before drinking coffee. It's something 90% of people get wrong, and it's draining their energy every single day. Morning habit number 3, the warm water wake up. Remember how 90% of people start the day the wrong way? Here it is. Most of us, myself included, for years, shuffle straight to the coffee maker the second we're upright. Rose used to do that, too, until she discovered it was quietly draining her energy and inflaming her joints. Now, before a single sip of coffee, before a bite of food, she drinks 16 ounces of warm water with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice. A tiny pinch of pink Himalayan salt. Why warm, and why first? After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is like a sponge that's been left out overnight, dry, stiff, and begging for moisture. Warm water rehydrates faster than cold, the salt gives back electrolytes most seniors are missing, and the lemon jumpstarts digestion while delivering vitamin C. Within 2 weeks of switching her coffee first habit to water first, Rose's morning arthritis pain eased up, her joints loosened in minutes instead of hours, and her energy became steady all day. Quick tip, mix the water, salt, and lemon in a glass pitcher the night before. Set it on the counter so it's the first thing you see. Take any morning meds afterward, unless your doctor says otherwise. Alright, hydrated, clock reset, brain primed. Let's loosen things up. Morning habit number 4, the mobility awakening. Rose calls this her insurance policy against gravity. It's a gentle, 10-minute routine she does before getting out of bed. Think of it as oiling every hinge before opening the door. 1. Ankle circles. 10 in each direction, each foot, to wake up the balance sensors in your legs. 2. Knee to chest pulls. 1 knee at a time, hug and hold for 15 seconds. This lengthens hip flexors that cramp overnight. 3. Shoulder rolls, lying down. 10 forward, 10 back. Perfect for undoing decades of chin-to-screen posture. 4. Gentle neck turns. Look left, look right, then tilt the headboard way and the footboard way. Nice and slow. 5. The wake-up wiggle. Hands, feet, and fingers shaking lightly for 30 seconds to flood every joint with fresh blood. Why does it work? While you sleep, the synovial fluid in your joints thickens. These micro-moves warm and thin that fluid before you put weight on it. Rose's physical therapist couldn't believe her new flexibility scores, until he saw the routine. 6 months ago she slipped on wet leaves outside the grocery store. Instead of crashing down, her hips and ankles adjusted mid-stride, and she stayed upright. That sequence, she says, saved me from a broken hip and a nursing home stay. Modify as needed. Bad shoulders? Shrink the rolls. Hip trouble? Slide your legs instead of pulling knees to chest. Severe arthritis? Do just the ankle circles and wiggles. It's not about perfection, it's about preparation. Morning habit number 5, the 5-minute purpose. Here's the habit people call controversial, yet researchers link it to longer life, sharper memory, even lower inflammation. After her first 4 rituals, Rose opens the same notebook she used for gratitude and writes one sentence. Today I will. Not this week, not someday, today. One concrete way she'll make someone's life better. Her very first entry was, call Mrs. Chen to ask about her doctor's appointment. Tiny, right? Mrs. Chen burst into tears because no one else had remembered to ask. That small act snowballed. Rose began checking on neighbors, sharing tomatoes from her garden, mentoring brand new teachers online. In 6 months she became the neighborhood connector, the person everyone trusts when they need help. Science backs her up. Rush University's Dr. Patricia Boyle found seniors with strong daily purpose suffer 44% less cognitive decline and are 2.4 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's. Dan Buettner's Blue Zones research shows a clear link between a daily sense of purpose, ikigai, and up to 7 extra years of life expectancy. Your purpose can be as small as texting a grandchild about their soccer game, complimenting the postal carrier who always smiles, or commenting something kind online if you're mostly homebound. What matters is the daily commitment. The before and after that stunned her doctor. At 85. 12 prescriptions. Walker in the hallway. 35 extra pounds. A 1C of 8.2, pre-diabetic. Nights on sleeping pills, days lost to daytime TV. Today, at 94. 4 prescriptions, down by 2/3. Drives herself to volunteer at the library 3 times a week. A 1C 5.9, textbook normal. 35 pounds lighter, no dieting. Sleeps 7 to 8 hours naturally. Organizes community events, tends a garden, and is learning Spanish. Her cardiologist says she has the heart of a 70-year-old and the cognitive sharpness of someone decades younger. And it all started with 5 tiny habits that work together like a symphony. 1. Sunrise light to tune her body clock. 2. Gratitude plus memory to wire her brain for joy. 3. Warm water hydration to calm inflammation. 4. Mobility awakening to prevent falls. 5. 5-minute purpose to fuel her spirit. Your 7-day challenge. Here's my challenge to you. Pick just one of Rose's morning habits. Do it every day for a week. That's it. Start with the sunrise ritual if sleep is your struggle. Try the warm water wake-up if your joints ache. Choose the mobility sequence if you dread that first step out of bed. Then come back and tell us in the comments what changed: energy, mood, sleep, whatever you notice. If Rose's story proved to you that it's never too late to rewrite your health story, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs hope about aging, and if you haven't yet, subscribe so you don't miss the next life-changing tip. Remember, small actions, done consistently, build a life worth living, at any age. I'm rooting for you. See you in the next video.